Let's invite into the stream Ben Kohn. He's Playboy CEO, and they're out with earnings. Revenue grew 34% year over year with 114% growth in direct-to-consumer revenue. But it was about 6, maybe 7 weeks ago when you joined us, and you talked about NFT, and you've had your first NFT art drop. Let's talk about that. Help us understand the future of where you're going to go, because you have this huge database of stuff you could sell via NFT, right?
We do. And look, the first quarter was great. NFTs weren't in there. Revenue was actually up 42% if you exclude the acceleration in the first quarter of 2020. The NFTs, we generated almost 7 figures, almost $1 million on our first drop. These are 6 original pieces of art that did not exist the day before. We still have a 10 million piece archive, a 5,000 piece art collection. But NFTs for us are not the strategy. It's really about leveraging the blockchain through everything we do, from live events to virtual events to selling virtual apparel. And so we're really excited about the future. Our strategy will include commissioning new pieces of work as well. Again, we had no cash outlay. We had no inventory with that. $1 million of sales, 455,000 of secondary sales so far, which we participate in. And then it's extending that to virtual goods, to virtual parties, et cetera. And so it's going to be ingrained in everything we do moving forward.
Hey, Ben, can you explain to us, just because I think you said virtual apparel and virtual goods, explain to us just what exactly you mean by that and what we could expect from you going forward?
Sure. So think about skins, the skins market in Fortnite and other games like that. You're already seeing this today where people are buying virtual apparel. You're outfitting your avatar. And so the Playboy brand, which drives over $3 billion of consumer spend today, streetwear is exploding for us. Our relationship with PacSun was up over 400% in the first quarter. Obviously, our D2C business up 114%, but that can also apply in a virtual world. So if you come to a Playboy party, assume we build a Playboy mansion in a virtual world, and you want to be outfitted for that party, you can buy apparel, virtual apparel for your avatar online. And so it's not only the physical stuff, which we could couple it with it, but it's also the virtual opportunity as well.
Ben, forgive the ignorance of this question, because I'm the generation of my angel is the centerfold, trying to understand where you're taking Playboy. And when you talk about avatars in games, are these adult avatars? Are these adult games? Or are these directed in a different way to different generation?
They're not. This is really a lifestyle company at the end of the day. And so if you look at our first drop last week on Nifty, we also hosted a virtual art gallery in Decentraland. And so as an avatar, you're showing up, participating in an art gallery tour in Decentraland. And we can do the same thing, with the Playboy Mansion, with parties, et cetera. So one of the things we're hypothetically thinking about in the fall is the Playboy Halloween party, not only having a real party potentially in Los Angeles or Las Vegas, but also hosting a virtual one online. And so again, it's not adult. This is mainstream. If you look at our audience today, 55% of our sales in the first quarter on our D2C platforms were to women. A large percent of that is to people 34 and younger. And it's our streetwear business that's just on fire on a global basis.
And Ben, when you take a look at your performance just since, beginning of February, you're up 178%. Certainly, your strategy is resonating there with investors. When you look at any potential challenges over the next few months, do you see any potential headwinds here on the horizon?
Look, the biggest headwinds we've had are actually not about consumer demand. It's actually been about supply. And I think our first quarter numbers would have been better. And we alluded to this yesterday. We were out of stock on 15% of our items throughout the first quarter. This is really the port issue that we hope that will rectify itself here in the next few months, all related to COVID. But the demand is there. We just didn't have enough product to sell to the consumer. And what's so nice about what we're trying to do as well is not only we growing consumer demand, but there's already $3 billion of demand against or spend against the brand. And so we're just re-engineering the business model to capture a much larger percentage of that versus actually trying to create new demand.
Ben Kohn, Playboy CEO, thank you very much for joining us. My apologies to the Jay Giles Band and butchering the title of the song, My Angel is the Centerfold.